Hi, loves. August 7th, 2022. About 7:30 or so, I'd say. Actually, it was 8:18 when I started. Yeah, I got a picture of it. There's cars over there and the lightning, I don't know. But I was inspired to get this on video for you. So you see what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm having a tough time focusing. There we go. They say that chips, intergalactic, universal brothers and sisters, ride on these electricities. Let's see what manifests. I'm just following orders directly. And yeah, this is new creation. Tomorrow, 8/8 is the great lioness gate. And the veil is opening all around us. And people might see it differently, but this is the way I see. Everything is manifesting right before us. Yeah. A whole new world. Lighten up. Lighten up. Lighten up. We have an important portal opening up. Confirmation. Very important portal opening up right now as we speak. Even, if you're a regular human being, you feel it. Can't miss it. It's right in front of you. Everything that's been happening, the whole truth about our governmental systems that have given us AIDS and HIV and COVID mercilessly, and vaccines that make our children's hearts explode as they go out into the field, only to give us medicine and give us hope that it will protect us. And how many of them had followed them? And it's sad. I know. I took AZT and DDI under the emergency of HIV. And so did my son Jake. Only to find out my government gave it to all of us. What an awful mistake. But then they said that we were banging monkeys in Africa too. And I bought in and took that medicine. And so did my little son Jacob, who would have lived if it hadn't been for HIV and AIDS my government gave me. And then the medicines to supposedly cure it, only to kill him. I was just lucky to survive it. Nuclear medicine ain't no fun to take in. Believe me, Ken. Somehow, by God's grace, despite all those I've lost and loved from that very disease. Sounds like monkeypox. Banging monkeys in Africa, that's how we got AIDS, right? Well, monkeypox. It's a whole other equation. At least they have a vaccination that can be responsible, unlike Pfizer and Moderna, where you got no call at all. That didn't help Joe Biden. He got vaccines 4 times and still got it. Next he'll have monkeypox. Who knows? Or some variety. Because it's just like AIDS, HIV. It's a transmutable virus. It changes itself. Same as HIV. And it creates a long-term AIDS effect, I guess that's what they say anyway. I believe it. Ain't just me. People are out there, in the cars, enjoying the show too. It's live quality. But it's not fun. Because how many people have they vaxxed and now they're going to require monkeypox? At least the monkeypox vaccine has, FDA and CDC approval. At least. Doesn't mean it's safe, but at least we have approval anyway. Unlike some of the stuff I had to take, and other people too. Yeah, you get vaccine going to help you, Jack. Hey, Joe, the one who gave us the bite. How many times now? 4 for some of us? And he got 4, and he still caught it. Good God Almighty. Well, there's a way to avoid monkeypox. Stay down, you stay quiet. You don't get with other people's bodily fluids. And keep distance. If they have a breakout, it's simple. Keep yourself isolated a bit, but you don't need a vaccine or masking or nothing, or mandates or lockdowns. It's another virus, and if you wash your hands and, be careful how close you get to people and their clothing, and don't have sexual partners you're not supposed to have, like how a lot of people brought home AIDS, HIV to their family, unfortunately for the outfall like me. But unfortunately for me, my ex was doing other people and drug using, stuff I wasn't doing. And he brought it home to me, but guaranteed my government gave it to him. And everybody else who was in some kind of a drug user or prostitute or a homosexual. Why do you think the bathhouses in San Francisco dropped first? Sounds kind of targeted. And Fauci had it for 2 years in France and had the paperwork. But held AIDS, HIV, which killed millions across the world. He held that info for 2 years in France before he let it out and let people know. Yeah. But we got it with AZT and DDI, though. If AIDS didn't kill us, the medicine sure would. And we had no recourse either. We had to take it, but you're not going to be able to go back. Much like the vax, 4 times over. Now they have the monkeypox vax, and that one is at least FDA and CDC approved, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have adverse reacts. And I believe they're underreporting, quite frankly, how many adverse reactions we're having. How many children's hearts have exploded on the field while their friends watch them breathe their last deal and bleed out the mouth. You ever see a heart explode? It's not a pretty sight. Imagine how those parents feel, knowing their kids couldn't play sports or participate in school because they had to get the vax. Well, it became more awful than that, didn't it, Jax? Yeah. That's truth. And look at the collateral damage of COVID. Look at the nursing homes in New York. Have we forgotten about that? Have we forgotten about how many people were isolated in their homes and afraid to let their nurses aid in? So they went with neglection and suffering alone, the old folks. How about the old folks that were locked in that weren't allowed visitors? Shall we forget that collateral damage? How about the people who died on ventilators? People had to go to other levels of care. And their loved ones and families who lost someone now so far to COVID. What about that truth? And lest we forget, and I know I'm going on, I'm at 9:08 here, 9:09. But lest we forget the opioid and the methamphetamine and fentanyl and heroin and opioids and whatever measure, let alone methamphetamines and what do they call it, stuff, clear. And yeah, clear, I'll give it to you up the rear. Get addicted to that stuff. And how many have we lost to that? How many accidental ODs just from opioids? Good God. How many ODs from fentanyl now? 1 in 4? And they're taking them so they don't have to feel no more. In a way, it's sickening to me. Because they're playing Russian roulette with their lives. And they don't even get it. So if one thing hasn't gotten us, another has. And this is the way I guess it had to pass. It's not my call at all. I just see it, big and small. And as I see, we were set up for it. Warp speed and 5G. And then Joe Biden gave us the bite. It's like the snaky bee. Line them up, warp speed. But you're going to have to do it mandatory, but voluntary. First, we'll give you $1 million to take that vaccine. And then you'll go into a lottery. Yeah. And maybe you'll win $1 million if you take that vaccine, because it's voluntary, you know. And then it becomes mandated by the state, mandated by the government that you have to take it or lose your job. Maybe a nurse here in Pueblo, Colorado, that worked for St. Mary Cordwin's for 30 years as a great employee, but got laid off because they didn't want the vax jack, and they lost all that experience and probably let in some dumbass. And now they're taking it back going, oh, we're sorry now. You don't have to have... Well, the vax didn't even help Joe Biden, the one who gave the bite. How many vaccines were paid for by our government? Trump, you signed contracts for all those vax. And who manufactured them? The ones who made the money. So good old Joe, the one who insisted and mandated we get vaxxed or lose our jobs, he got 4 and failed. I hope he gets monkeypox. He deserves to scratch his freaking crotch for 4 weeks. Anybody else who does, getting it sexually transmitted. Yeah, that's truth. Look at that lightning rolling it. Yeah. Major truth in this. You're not going to like, a lot of people aren't going to resonate with what I say. You might even argue with me. It's okay. I love a great debate. I don't mind being wrong. And I don't mind being put in my place. Believe me, I have enough. So, here we are. In the throe of those who survive the ultraviolet rays coming in and the vaccines that, you know, quite frankly, turn on your cancer cells in your DNA. Not the way it be. So, the ultraviolet rays coming in, if the monkeypox don't get you or whatever, you better hope you're not in sin. You better hope that you're not getting monkeypox and bringing it home to your wife and your kids. Be responsible with your sexuality. Help us find peace and balance and harmony. Because I got to shut this down. We're coming up on 13:30. And yeah, I love you all and praying for every single one of you loves. Love you.